Oh, fuck! A lot of men think that in order to get that V-shaped upper body, that they gotta spend all their time bench pressing and building up their chest. Now, while to a certain degree that's true, in reality, if you want that V taper, focus on those side delts. No! What's up, everyone? David here. I've got a new video for you today. But before we get into it, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification so you don't miss on any new videos. Because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So don't miss out. Now you may notice I'm doing a lot of benching, bros, gym bros, men, guys. I know a lot of you spend so much time building up that chest, doing any type of pressing movement, doing any type of chest workouts. Now, I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that the reason why you're doing all this is because you want that massive upper body. Today, we're gonna be talking about that V taper, literally upper body, looking like the shape of a V, Dorito, wide up top, nice and slim down below. We all want that. Summer's right around the corner. Who wouldn't want to look good without their shirt on? Who wouldn't want to have that V taper upper body? But the thing is, so many of you, although yes, that is your goal, although yes, you're pushing hard in the gym, the specific exercises and the specific muscle groups that you're actually working in hopes to achieve that, not necessarily the case. I mean, you might be doing the wrong ones. I know a lot of you spend so much time focusing on the chest, focusing on the pressing. Yes, to a certain degree, that can help build it up. But realistically, there's other muscle groups that are really gonna help you accentuate that shape even more so than what your chest otherwise would. So with that said, let's get into it. Now, I want to start off by saying that this topic of the V taper is actually going to be a 2-video series. So this is just part 1 of 2. The reason why I want to break it up into 2 videos is because I believe there's multiple muscle groups that actually contribute to guys having that V taper shape. And although yes, there are certain things that we can do to build up those individual muscle groups, at the end of the day, you can't change your genetic structure. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be talking about specifically the delts and the chest. And the reason why genetics plays such a huge role, even though you're building up the muscle, you can't change your structure. So V taper, wide up at top on the shoulders, small on the waist. So if I were to start flexing, boom, you can kind of see my lats under there. You can see I got that V taper. My delts are a lot wider than my waist. If I start flexing more, you see, I definitely got that V taper. Granted, I'm naturally a smaller frame. So that's one thing that you got to take into account. If you're a natural lifter, you're not on steroids, you're naturally on the thinner side, the skinnier side, you already struggle enough to build up a good physique, then obviously that might hinder the amount of progress you'll see. Granted, if you push hard, eat the right diet, everything else taken into play, you can see results, which is the case for me. I'm a natural lifter. I'm so consistent with everything. I still have a decent amount of muscle mass. Obviously, nowhere near the amount that enhanced lifters would have. But at the end of the day, I got something. But when it comes to the chest and the delts, part of the reason why people look so wide is not necessarily because the muscles are so big. Yes, it can contribute to it, but we gotta look at the bones, specifically this one right here, your collarbones. Think about it. Our muscles are only as wide as our bone structure allows it to be. So if you're someone who has very thin collarbones, a very thin rib cage, then obviously your overall torso is gonna be a lot smaller. Whereas in those that have wider collarbones, a bigger rib cage, obviously they're gonna have more bone that their muscle can build upon. Your bone structure will determine how much overall mass that you can hold. That's why you see bigger guys, people with bigger wrists, bigger joints, bigger bone structure, they're typically gonna have a lot more muscle mass because their frame literally allows them to carry that extra mass. So for me, luckily, the width is something I don't necessarily struggle with. My collarbones are actually a little wide. I mean, you can see all the way where my trap is. You can see it coming all the way in right here. So luckily for me, I can get away with, I know I have wider shoulders, so I don't have to work them as hard. Because of that, that means I don't have to work my side delt as much. I can get away with still looking wide while skipping side delts, majority of the time. I focus more on my chest because for me, that is a weak point. I'm definitely trying to build up my chest even more so. But the thing is, so many of you guys out there, You have that same mentality, but you don't need it. The only reason why I'm working more of my chest is because that's what I personally need more of. I don't need more delt. Look how round it looks. Look how wide my upper body is compared to my waist. I'm good on that. But here's the thing, for so many of you, you think that building up the chest is gonna give you that wide physique. To a certain degree, yes, it can make you look bigger. It could give you that V shape, but we gotta break it down. How does the chest muscle, the pecs, actually develop? What people don't understand is the pecs don't really grow outwards like this. No, what the pecs do is they grow outwards this way. That's why when we flex, we go from right here, boom. You see how it kind of just pops up right here? We see it's pointing outwards. That's because our chest, when it gets developed, it doesn't stick out. Maybe just a tad bit if you got the outer portion right here. But again, that comes down to your insertion points. Like how does your pec actually, tie into your bones? And for some people, their insertion point is a little bit more inwards. So yes, you can build up the chest, but it doesn't necessarily grow outwards right here. It realistically grows more outwards this way or more upwards, especially if we're trying to build up that upper chest. So I would say, although yes, you can work your chest, yes, it's very noticeable, yes, people, that's the first thing they see, they're looking at you, you got a big chest, it sticks out. At the end of the day, you want that wide look. It's not necessarily your chest, it's these little guys right here, shoulders, specifically the sides. Now, by no means am I saying don't train your chest. Obviously do so, especially for you guys, you men out there. Yes, it is a big muscle group. It just doesn't stick out as much. But let's do a little bit smarter work around it. Let's just start really breaking it down. When we think about the V taper, essentially we're thinking about a triangle, right? Wide at the top, then at the bottom. So let's focus on that upper part, that upper shelf all the way across the torso. We'll get to the side delts in a bit because think about those are the corners of the triangle. But let's think about that upper portion. If we want that bigger V taper upper body, let's start emphasizing a little bit more of the upper chest. I mean, if I were to look at you like this, and let's just say we're trying to draw a triangle, I got a pretty built-in drawn-in line right here. Granted, part of it is your collarbone, depending on how much your skin sinks into it. But if we can develop that upper chest, all that is just gonna make this upper portion right here more defined. I mean, you can kind of see it right there. The upper chest kind of draws into like a little triangle right there. Let's build up that portion. Everyone, a lot of you guys, you focus so much on the downwards portion right here of the chest. No, you don't need any more of that. Everyone has this portion developed enough already, but no one has an overly developed upper chest. You can never have too much upper chest. So let's focus on building up that portion up here. If we can get this upper shelf right here really built up, you don't think that's gonna exaggerate the upper portion of that triangle? And obviously, the bigger that upper portion is, the smaller it's gonna make the lower portion. The wider and more developed we can make the upper torso right here. You don't think by just optics and illusion, it's gonna make your waist look a lot smaller? I mean, come on now. My waist, realistically, it's not that small. It doesn't stick out necessarily, but I like to think I actually have a pretty wide waist. It's flat, which is good. But my shoulders and my upper chest are so much more developed that by illusion, it makes it look like I got even more of that V taper than I naturally do. Again, when it comes to aesthetics, when it comes to looks, when it comes to bodybuilding, it's all about the looks, illusions. Build up one muscle group and it makes it look a lot smaller compared to other muscle groups. So obviously, anything incline. I mean, we're talking about if you want to go ahead and do it on a bench, dumbbells, or machine, anything biasing the upper portion of the chest, that's really going to help out. For me personally, what do I go with? I go with Smith machine incline press because on that one, I feel like I'm really stable. I don't feel like I'm wasting energy kicking up dumbbells if I were to do it on a bench with the dumbbell incline press. No. Slow and controlled on the way down and a full contraction at the top. That is personally what I like to do. Now, whatever it is that works best for you, go for it. Also, whatever equipment you have access to in the gym, by all means, do what you can with the resources you have. It's just for me personally, I like that option. At the end of the day, an upwards press is still going to target more so of the upper chest because it's still incline. So whatever it is that you like to do, just make sure you're pushing yourself hard. And that goes for any exercise. Don't just half-ass it. Don't just do half reps. Don't just do, I'm good. All right, 10 reps, re-rack. No, actually push yourself. Do you have to train necessarily to failure? Obviously not. You're just going to burn yourself out. But you got to train close to failure. We got to make sure we're working and doing good quality sets. Warm-up sets will not count towards anything. You will not see any results by just doing half-ass warm-up sets. No, everything has to be good quality working sets. It's got to feel painful. You got to feel the discomfort. You got to feel the burning sensation. Those type of reps, those type of sets, those are the ones that are going to give you the results, especially for right here, this lacking muscle group. Now, stepping aside from chest, moving on to delts, specifically the side delts right here. That is what's really going to help you build up that V-taper upper body. Again, yes, the chest, if you build up the upper region, yes, it can help you, but I cannot emphasize enough that no, your chest does not grow outwards. Your chest realistically will grow more so this way in front. But the side delts, those will literally grow out wider. So if you want to really maximize the triangle that I keep referencing, the tips of the triangles, the corners up top, those are going to be your delts right there. And realistically, the only exercise you're going to get those from is going to be any type of laterals. Now, it doesn't matter if you do it with dumbbells, if you do it with a machine, if you do it with a cable, anything where you're moving your arms out to the side. But here's the thing. So many of you, you go so heavy on it to the point where you're not even letting the muscle work. You're not even letting your delts do all the work. You're letting your hips and pretty much almost like bending your arms. So it's kind of more of just like an awkward sideways upright row because you're looking like this. So much rocking in the upper body, so much elbow bend. No, 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 no. When it comes to building up your delts, it's not a strength movement. No one's ever gonna ask you, hey bro, how much can you lateral raise? No, no, no. So go ahead and go light. Right here, I got 20-pound dumbbells. That is more than enough. I'm gonna make sure I really emphasize going all the way up, nice and control on the way down, really trying to minimize the amount of upper body movement that I'm doing, and really trying to maximize the amount of work that the side delt specifically is doing. Now, there's a lot of talks out there about which way you should lean forward. Should you be like twisting your arm out as you go? There's just so much variations out there. Realistically, and this is just for me personally, I don't have a one set way of how I do my laterals. I just do them in my workouts in a way that allows me to feel the burn right here on the side delts. For some days, I may have to lean just a little bit more forward and then open up this way, and I feel a huge contraction right here on the side delt. But for some reason, there's other days where if I do that, I don't feel it. But if I were to lean back a little more and instead have my shoulders shrugged down and just go straight to the side, I'm completely upright like this, that's what's gonna allow me to feel it more on the side delt. There's other days where instead of going out to the side right here, I have to go a little bit more forward right here. There's just so many different ways that you can do laterals. Realistically, it's just based off of your anatomy, how your bone structure is, how this joint right here is worked, and also whatever you feel is best and whatever allows you to feel it right there in the side delt. If you feel the contraction, you feel the burning right here on the side as opposed to the front, okay, then do it that way. Whatever way allows you to feel that muscle group work, that's the way that I need you to do them. So again, you really want to build up that V taper, that shoulders right there, delts, side delt specifically. You can build up all the front delt you want, but the front delt gets built up this way. This muscle right here, that's the only one that's actually going to add width to you. That's what's going to add inches going off the side. That's what's going to give you that wide look. And again, if you want that V right here, beginning from your lats, going up, 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 what is the last tip of the triangle? Boom. Delts of our lower right there. Boom, that's what we want. We want the width, we want the wideness. Focus on the tips of those triangles right there. Get your laterals in. So there you have it, everyone. Hopefully you all enjoyed this video. Again, you got a couple weeks left until summer. Man, I know a lot of you want that V taper back. You want to be wide up top, thin at the bottom. Okay, if you want to build up the top part, chest, delts, chest specifically, focus on that upper pec right here, build up that line right there, and then really emphasize the side delts by getting those laterals in. We make ourselves as wide as possible up top. It's gonna be an illusion. It's gonna make the waist look a lot smaller. But again, make sure you're doing the right exercises. Understand that genetics play a role in how your body structure is, and then stay consistent with whatever exercises and whatever workout program you're gonna be doing for yourself. Hopefully this video was helpful. Comment down below if it is, and also be on the lookout for part 2 of this video, because like I said, this is gonna be a 2-part video series. This one right here, chest and delts. Stay tuned for part 2, so we could really build upon even more of that V taper. Comment down below also any other video suggestions you'd like to see me do, whether it be about mindset, motivation, nutrition, diets, workouts, programs, whatever it is, comment down below. I'd be more than happy to help you all out. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you miss out on any new videos, because remember, new videos on this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so don't miss out. And then Instagram and TikTok, same thing. Be sure to follow me on both accounts. I'll put all my links down in the description below. With that being said, I'll catch y'all next time.